Nigeria's financial sector is increasingly exploring artificial intelligence as a tool to deepening financial inclusion. Now, key issues include whether banks are using AI-driven credit scoring to lend to unbanked macro and micro entrepreneurs without collateral, and how informal savings schemes like esusu can be digitized through AI platforms. So there's also growing interest in AI chatbots that support local languages to improve rural access and machine learning systems that actually enhance fraud detection and build trust in mobile money. Other focus areas include regulatory oversight by the Central Bank of Nigeria, and we see that AI-enabled micro insurance for farmers, agent network optimization, and AI initiatives aim to close the gender gaps in financial access. So we'll be looking at all of these at this particular time, even as we engage Ruky Toje, who is a product manager. Ruky, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for coming around on the show.
It's such a great time
to
be here, and starting off the new year in such an amazing way feels really good.
Great. So are Nigerian banks leveraging on AI-driven credit scoring models to extend loans to unbanked micro entrepreneurs who actually lack traditional collateral? Let's start from there.
Well, that's a great question. I'd say yes, that they are, but Nigerian banks are currently doing it very cautiously and unevenly. I mean, some Nigerian banks and fintechs are already using alternative data and machine learning in case of things like transaction history, mobile money usage, airtime patterns, POS data, all of this to ensure that customers or individuals have access to credit worthiness where traditional collateral doesn't exist with our normal traditional banks. However, I think many of these models are still in the pilot stage with the banks. Adoption is stronger among fintechs than legacy banks, like our traditional banks. And you would see things like trust, explainability, data quality are still where we have barriers and need to fix. So in a nutshell, I'd say AI credit scoring has huge potential in Nigeria, definitely. We have so many unbanked people and we need to find a way to access or to get these people on board. But it must be transparent and inclusive, or it will risk excluding the very people that it's meant to help, which would be our traders, our unbanked people, and perhaps say younger people who are just starting to open accounts and what have you.
Okay, so you talked about AI tools, some of them in the pipeline, some are in the works, and they're building the platforms to make it quite formidable. But then what AI-powered platforms are actually currently digitizing informal saving groups is part of what you mentioned now, to make sure that we have a financial system that is inclusive. I'd like you to talk about that.
So AI platforms digitizing, like you said, informal banking, esusu, that we all know. Currently, we're seeing a blend of fintech innovation and community finance. I recently spoke to a founder a few days ago, and he started something similar where instead of individuals putting their money together and they send it to one person's account, this platform is open to all. Anyone can sign, and it's very transparent. You can see who is putting money in the pot, which is the esusu now. And it's not a traditional bank. You will classify that sort of company as a fintech company. So that's being very innovative, and they're also capturing these other areas that traditional banks are not. Several Nigerian fintech platforms are digitizing esusu and cooperative savings by automating contributions, like I mentioned earlier, tracking member behavior, which is really key, again, to gain trust and transparency, using AI to predict default risk and optimize payouts. I don't know if I should mention one in particular now that I believe they're doing really good. It's called MoneyBank. MoneyBack. Yeah. I see MoneyBack on its own has transformed the whole esusu system of how it works. While they're doing this, not all openly brand this as AI. Not all fintech companies or digitizing platforms would say they're AI, but machine learning is what is working quietly in the background to manage the risk and scale trust.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, because we're actually pressed for time, Ruky, let's just quickly move on. We know there are still limitations and there are rooms for improvement, But then, do you think that AI chatbots can actually improve customer service accessibility for those in the rural areas, those who speak a certain language, basically our local languages, and
Yeah.
they equally would want to be incorporated into this?
Absolutely, I think so. Just as you have in traditional banks where thankfully you use the ATM machine, it's in Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or English. AI, this is one of AI's most powerful inclusion tools that I have seen. AI-powered chatbots using natural language processing, NLP, serve customers in our local languages, the three main languages, and currently I've heard of research being done now to also include other languages in Nigeria. They operate 24/7. It reduces the reliance on physical bank branches where you have to call the customer care or go to the bank to speak with someone. But I would say there's still challenges that exist around this. You have language accuracy, dialect variation, cultural nuance. So again, with the AI, language access is financial access. That's what I would say. Considering the people in the rural areas, our bank customers, AI helps to remove that barrier. If designed with local context, I believe it would scale.
So what about fraud detection? I mean, how does real-time fraud detection via machine learning increase trusts? How do we even get to that point where we're sure that AI power systems can help protect people's monies and transactions?
Trust is the currency of financial inclusion. If you don't trust a company, a bank, a financial system, or organization, definitely you wouldn't want to work with them or put your money there. So machine learning fraud system has helped to monitor transactions in real time, detect unusual behavior patterns, prevent account takeovers before damage occurs. For first-time users, it reduces fraud. Reduced fraud equals increased confidence when you can trust the bank, which directly drives adoption and retention, in my opinion. So I'd say when people feel protected, they are willing to participate, and AI makes this protection scalable.
Well, we know that there are regulatory challenges and improvements being done by the Central Bank of Nigeria. We hope that there will be a bit of balance in not stifling, but then making it quite safe and improved to serve the many business spectrum in Nigeria and, of course, in Africa. Thank you so much, Ruky Toje, Product Manager, for sharing your thoughts with us on the show.